How you doing, 7th grade? I know these are the clothes I had on yesterday because I made the videos last night. So, solving equations by multiplying and dividing. Yesterday we did adding and subtracting. Now Emmett, if we saw addition, we knew we needed to use, hopefully he said subtraction. And if we saw subtraction, we hopefully needed to use addition. Today we used multiplication and division. They're inverse operations. If we see multiplication happening, we do division. If we see division happening, we do multiplication. So we want to learn to solve one-step equations by using multiplication or division. One-step problems are making it easy for you. These properties will be shown in your book, and they kind of can be shown by this. 2 times 5 is 10, or 10 divided by 5 is 2. All right. If we take 2 and multiply it on each side of the equation, it stays balanced. So, 3 times 4 is 12. Well, if we do this, 2 times 3 times 4, that's 24. 2 times 12 is 24. That shows you that that does work. So, we're going to look at this. Remember our fraction, Caden? Remember our fraction? This is a different way to write it. H divided by 2 equals 13. All right? Now with H divided by 2 equaling 13, I like to put that placeholder here and show, oh, I know I've got a 1 on the bottom because that doesn't change anything. So to undo division, I use multiplication. I multiply by 2 over 1. And if we remember our fraction rules, we can simplify. Because I can have 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. But if I multiply by 2 over 1 on one side, I can multiply by 2 over 1 on the other side. Now 1 times 1 is 1, and I didn't really need the 1 on the bottom, did I? It just helps me remember to hold a place. So 13 times 2 is 26. I didn't put the 1 down because I really don't need it. H equals 26. 26 divided by 2, that does equal 13. And yes, I need to see the steps, Jack. Gotta write them out. You too, Grayson. Although, you didn't really complain about it. Alright, here we go. H divided by 13. Alright, so, or H divided by 2 equals 13. Multiply by 2 on both sides. Alright, H equals 26. We check it. We substitute back in. 26 divided by 2 is 13. Checks out. Skiddly-doo. Alright, here we go. Now, Emmett, make sure we get this one done. We want to try it out. So, we have x over 5. I like to put 30 over 1, just so they both have the variable. X divided by 5. Ava, if this is division by 5, we should use what to undo to division? Hopefully you said multiplication. And it is multiply by 5. Because then, 5 on top, 5 on bottom, they can cross out. If we do it to one side, what do we have to do to the other side, Luke? Hopefully you said multiply by 5 over 1, the same thing. 5 times 30 is 150. I really didn't need the 1s on bottom, so x is all I'm left with over here. There's my answer. 150 divided by 5, that is 30. We got our answer. They multiplied by 5, got 150. They plug it back in. 150 divided by 30. All right, that is the solution. Now, it worked for multiplication. It worked for addition. It worked for subtraction. Do the same thing on both sides, and it balances. It works for division as well. Okay? So, if we see 51 equals 17 times x, variable, next to constant, means we're multiplying. So to undo that, I have multiplication. Inverse operation is, hopefully you said division. So I divide by 17. Because 17 divided by 17 is 1. 1x. Well, that's what I really want, isn't it? But if I did it to one side, Emmett, divide by 17, what do I do to the other side? Hopefully you said divide by 17. 51 divided by 17, I've done this too many times, is 3. All right. 17 times 3 is 51. It all checks out. Just like yesterday, Emmett, if we see multiplication, we undo it with division. If we see division, we undo it with multiplication. Right, Caden? Okay, let's go on. Let's see what they did. Make sure I did it right. All right, that does equal 3 when they divide by 17 on both sides. Now we're going to plug it back in. 51, it checks out. All right, solve the equation 76 equals 19y. So, 76 equals 19 times y. 19 times y. Alexa, how do I undo this multiplication? Oh, thank you. We divide by 19. Well, if we do it on one side, what do we have to do to the other side? Divide by 19. Keeping it equal. All right, so y then, because 19 divided by 19 is 1, is 4. 76 divided by 19 is 4. We'll plug it back in and we'll check. Let's make sure we did our math right before we move on. They divided by 19. They got 4 as well. We put the 4 back in. 4 times 19 does equal 76. There you go. It checks out. All right. The only thing left to do is do some word problems. This will be the hardest part. You can work together in those pods of 4 of who's around you, but don't leave your seat. Trevor's heart rate is 78 beats per minute. How many times does his heart beat in 10 seconds? Watch how they set them up. It'll help you in the long run. All right. Use the given information to write an equation where B is the number of heartbeats in 10 seconds. All right. If you count your heartbeats 10 seconds, that's all right. So, beats in 10 seconds times 6, because that'll make 60 beats per minute. All right. B times 60 equals 78, and that beats per minute. So, let's look at the equation. 6 times B equals 78. So, what do we have to do to undo this? All right, Ava, you're up. 6 times B equals 78. What do I do to get that B by itself? All right. We divide by 6. We divide by 6. All right, Emma, can you help us out? What is 78 divided by 6? It's 13 by my recollection. Let's see if you got the same. All right, let's see if the computer got the same. All right, so divide by 6 to get that B all alone, the variable by itself. That is 13. We do that, it's 13 times in 10 seconds. During a stock car race, one driver is able to complete 68 laps in 1 hour. How many laps would he finish in 15 minutes? So, we have to figure out, well, 15 minutes goes into an hour 4 times. 4 times whatever it is in minutes gives us our total laps in an hour. All right? So whatever it is, 15 minutes, that goes into an hour 4 times, so that's where you get that times 4. So now we got the equation. Grayson, what do we do? All right, see, Emmett? It was multiplication, so we used division. Divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Yay! All right, we do it on one side. We got to do it on the other. That would be what, Jack? 17 is what I came up with. Hopefully you beat me to it. All right. 4 times that, and we get, since it's 4 times n, we divide by 4, n equals 17. 17 laps in 15 minutes. That's going fast. We have those things. The hardest part for you today will be setting up the equations, but I have faith. You can do it.